It's time to see what the Golden State Warriors are made of for real this year. 5-game road trip starts tonight in L.A. They're 3 games over 500, and they're 7-26 on the road. So, push has come to shove, and the Golden State Warriors got to get a couple wins on the road. Here's the way I look at it. You're 3 games over. If you get 2 out of 5, you go 2-3. That means you come back 2 games over. I think you take that. I think the goal right now for the Golden State Warriors, to me, it's come into focus. No lower than 6. Can you go 6 or 5? 4 to me would be a little bit above and beyond. But can you get 5 or 6? And 2 wins on this trip, Goo, I think keeps them in the 5 to 6 range.
Okay, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to go Fizdale on you. The data tells us they're going to lose 4 out of 5 or at least 3 out of 5. But my heart tells me, reading and watching every minute of Warrior basketball this season, that they've had enough. They know these are 5 straight road games. Steiny, the season's about to be over in the blink of an eye. And that's why, for some crazy reason, I feel like they're going to go 4-1.
But it's been a disappointing year so far for the Warriors.
I'm going to tell you this and shock you guys. They're the 5th seed. So there have been some troubling things. There's been MIAs with Wiggins tending to his family. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at a Golden State Warrior team, defending champs, in the 5th seed. So, with all that said, we watched them go 7-26 on the road. I mean, they were 9th or 10th. I'm not going to say yes to that statement, Donnie. I mean, there's some things I would like to take back. Like Andrew Wiggins, I wish whatever he's dealing with wouldn't be right, upon us. But are we really that spoiled? They're the 5th seed doing all this, and I'll call it mess. That's a positive.
The bottom line is
5th.
You can't say it's not a disappointing year if you've just been complaining all year. I'm not talking about you necessarily, but, I mean, you have.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'll do it today.
Everybody thinks the Warriors have underachieved. So the question is, are we
on the road?
Are we disappointed?
On the road, Steiny. They're not 33-36. They're 36-33. At home, they take care of business. We now can just hone in on one area, and it's the road. And I need to know if it's age, attrition, or just mindset. And I think tonight it starts in L.A.
Yeah, I think part of the reason the Warriors have not had a great season is because they're having trouble motivating. And I understand that completely. And I've said this a lot this year. They came out last year with something to prove. They went 18-2 to start the season. They were 41-13 after 55 games. And they knew halfway through the season that they could win this thing. And they went ahead and they won it. This year, how could we have expected this team, with the veterans that they have on it, to follow up a championship, an unexpected championship, with a great start? It's too much to ask. But what isn't too much to ask is whether or not they can get it revved up the last 6 weeks of the season and make a run in the postseason.
And I'm going to tell you this.
And that's what I'm looking at. If I were a Warrior fan right now, I would somehow try to put last year's title out of my head. And I would try to look at the West and say, we're 5. We can probably beat anybody if we get a break, but anybody can beat us. Let's go have fun in the playoffs. Let's see how far we can make it. And the reality is, if they're a 5th seed or 6th seed and they make it to the Western Conference Finals, that was a good run because they would have been coming from the 5 or 6 seed. So, I mean, I'm looking at the Warriors, Goo, and we have this bet. I have the field.
Okay.
And so I'll look at it from the other side. I mean, Do I feel good about the bet? Yeah, I feel great about the bet. The Warriors are 3 games over 500. That's it. On the other hand, it's like part of me saying, you got to be kidding me. These guys should be dead and buried by now.
Exactly.
They haven't played well.
All right.
They've been the beneficiary of a mediocre West, so they still have hope. Bottom line. So let's see what happens from this point on.
And you know what? And you look good in your sweater. You look like a substitute teacher today, Scotty.
2 o'clock hard out.
Oh, we're
2 o'clock
what you
hard
got?
out.
You got some. We
have.
Oh no, but you got 18 holes.
We both have something we're doing.
Yeah,
So
you got 18 holes.
Out.
Yeah, and I got a haircut. Oh, well, good Lord.
And you got to get somewhere down in the peninsula.
Yeah. Listen to this, though. I got so many just thoughts going through my head. When I see you again, and let's just say the Warriors go 4-1 on this 5-game roadie, I think it's an insult to Dub Nation for us to throw confetti. See, it's not about what the other teams are doing on the road to the Warriors. It's about the Warriors and why they just are no-shows. So let's just say they go 4-1. Why I bring that up? That ain't what I'm talking about, Jack. When this team catches fire, it can go all the way. So 4-1, if they do it, and I know the data does not suggest that to me is like, okay, I'm not going to come in here and do cartwheels because there's a greater good at hand. And the greater good is getting the Splash Brothers, JaMychal Green, with or without Wiggins, to be the second junkyard dog. And then this caveat. Yesterday, at the end of the show, I forget who called in, JaMychal Green, I think it was after Saturday's game, said the veteran, I believe it was Dre or Steph, like, hey, young fella, or hey, OG, just relax. We got a second season around here. It ain't really started yet. Not that they're saving themselves, not that that's why it's 7-26, but Stoney, this 5-game roadie, it really ain't a test to me. But if they go 0-5, then I'm going to come to you and say, like I have, and suggested, something is off personality-wise. So there's a stench. And somebody, and I don't like the disconnect word, because you all have the same uniform, and you don't tell the public what your other peer is not doing. I don't care how old they are. I don't subscribe to that. Now, you do it when I'm late. You know, you'll say it on air, but I would never do that to you.
Say what?
You know, if I'm late. Tim's Guru was late. You know, a couple times. I played it off, but I would, you know, you share with the public what's going on in the, behind the scenes.
I don't get you at all. You're telling me if the Warriors go 4-1 on this trip, you'll be like, okay, no biggie. I'm telling you right now, if the Warriors go 4-1 on this trip.
See, we're different. Go ahead.
How could you not be excited about 4-1 on the trip? They're 7-26.
Okay.
They have good teams they're playing.
Yes,
if they go 4-1 on the trip, like, do you not get how bad they are on the road? Well, you know what? This is kind of, I could almost say the point is moot.
Because I got them winning the championship.
Well, no, they're not going 4-1 on the road here.
Well, they could go 5-0.
You want to bet?
See,
but why would we talk about? Why would we talk about the least likely option, 5-0?
Well, forget the 5. The least likely option right now to the average is winning a championship. See, I'm judging this team on that. These 5 games are not make or break. Now, if you go 0-5, you might find yourself in the playing game. And I'm not saying I subscribe to that at all. I would come in here and tell you something bigger's going on. But, Stoney,
there is something bigger going on. Everybody's acknowledged
but can they fix it?
But there's stuff going on. Why are you saying you don't like the word disconnect when everybody's used it in the organization virtually?
Okay. My thing about that word is, if there is a disconnect, and I won't fight you, I'll just say there is. Can you connect it when the second season starts?
I don't know.
I think they can. Yeah,
maybe they can.
We got Bob today too, Stoney, at 1
o'clock. President of Basketball Operations and General Manager Bob Myers. Let's go to Cole. Cole's in Pleasant Hill. What's going on, Cole? How you doing, man?
One thing that's not going on is I will not be playing 18 today, so enjoy the sunshine while you're out there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it.
They're important things, right?
Yes.
So anyway, the Warriors, man, the disconnect is the word. The firepower, it's got to be tough. I think you guys were talking about it yesterday, gelling the new guys and the older guys. I mean, these guys are 4-time champions. They have the way they're doing it. I think it was a lot different in their younger years, like when these guys were in their late 20s, where we could all kind of play together and be together, and we got new families and everything's exciting. And now, Steph, Clay, and Dre, they've got their own things going on. The younger guys are trying to find their way in, and it doesn't feel like there's a cheerleader in the team right now. And I know GP2 was doing it last year, kind of looking for like a Hunter Pence guy of the Warriors, someone who's firing the team up inside. I don't see that. And it was a little, skeptical at first with the road losses. Okay, we can get through this. But now 7 wins on the road. It's like, man, we're not even in double digits. How in the world are we going to overcome that? So I hope the second push comes. It is all about the playoffs. I don't want to do the play-in deal, but as long as we get there, that's the most important. So I appreciate you guys taking my call. Have a great day.
Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's important they get to 6 and avoid that play-in game.
Now, what if that was a date and I want this? I want sacking the Warriors to end that. Steiny, wouldn't that be awesome? Just for the NBA and around here.
Yeah, sure. Why
have you thought about it?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Because to me, it's, they
Harrison
could get Phoenix.
Barnes?
They could get – what about him?
Revenge series.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you called him their
9
veteran.
years ago.
Right. Hey, he still don't like the way he got out of here.
Doing my UPS route in Los Altos, no power, everything's closed.
Man.
I'm bringing home a full truck today. Weird as hell. That's from Rob. Oh,
Power was out in Union City last night for some, man.
I got lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
I got very lucky.
I was watching hoop all day, all night.
Is that different than what you normally do?
No, I wouldn't have been able to do it had the lights without the power.
You watch
I text you a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah. You text back.
I did?
You don't remember.
I don't.
Yeah, that's scary.
I don't.
That's you. Because you out and about.
Let
My
me
boy
look.
active out there.
No.
He text us, Steiny, Spadoni text, Evan text. I hate you don't remember.
Well, I thought you meant you and me alone.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's very seldom. Unless I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to give you a good piece of news or bad piece of news?
I always go good first.
All right, good piece of news. Here's why the Warriors can still get this thing done. One of the reasons. Because if Wiggins and Payton come back, they don't affect you negatively offensively. In other words, if Wiggins comes back and Payton comes back, they're going to help you defensively, but they don't mess with the pecking order of the offense. In fact, if Wiggins floats a little bit on offense, great, because the offense isn't the problem. So even though Wiggins was their second or third leading scorer last year, I don't know, I can't remember which, he's not the kind of player that comes in and takes a bunch of shots from everybody, and everybody has to readjust their roles. In fact, one of the criticisms about Wiggins is that he tends to float a little bit, check out the scenery, see where he fits in. So, to me, there's a chance that if and when those two guys come back, their integration is seamless. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not mad at that, but I'm shocked because I'm the optimistic on the show. I am Mr. Optimistic. And I'm telling you, Matt, I understand it's about family. I have given up hope that Wiggins is coming back. So if he does come back, oh, boy, it's going to shock the world. But what I think you're about to fight me on is Andrew Wiggins has some of the best footwork in the game to me. His game is predicated on the little spin moves and all the stuff that he does that you haven't mentioned the rust factor. And he had been rusty a lot of this season, especially after coming back from the adductor injury. So if you're telling me he's going to be a well-oiled machine and there's no rust, okay, I'm with it. But I'm at the juncture now, Steiny. He ain't going to be on this road trip, I don't believe. I hope I'm wrong. So now we're talking about 9 games. Is that enough?
Plenty. That's plenty.
Okay. All
Playoffs
right.
are 10 weeks.
All right. And GP2, I'm totally with you on that. It's about the defense, but I just can't believe, and as excited as I am about this road trip, that I feel like you're using the word without saying it, make or break, because it ain't. Just don't come back off the road, not in the play-in. Give us a first-round series, and everything that I think will pop off will blossom.
If they go 1-4, nothing's solved. If they go 1-4 on this road trip, we're right back to where we started, and we know that this team isn't going to get it done for the most part. If they go 1-4 on this trip, this close to the end of the season, then it'll just be another hammer to the head that this team's not going anywhere. To me, the most likely is 2-3, and 2-3 keeps them 2 games above 500 and in the thick of things, and then they get home and play Philly, and we'll see what happens. But to me, you're 7-26, but you're still 3 over. Go get 2. Go get 2 of the 5.
Well, you got 1 with Houston, right?
I mean,
they just beat Boston at home.
It's the NBA.
Yeah.
Can you really say any win on the road is automatic?
Especially when you're 7-26.
Exactly.
7-3 in their last 10.
On the road?
No, just in totality.
And how many of those were at home? 5, 6, 7 of them.
Wow.
7 to 10. So they won. Yeah, that makes sense. 7 of the last 10 were at home. They're 7-3. I do have one issue. Not issue. As I was really being objective about this, and whether the Warriors can win a title or not, I do have something that I'm not sure anybody's going to have a rebuttal to, and then the only way around it is to suck it up.
Damn.
But here it is. This is, if I'm a Warrior fan, this is what I'm most worried about. You're going to go into the playoffs so much less rested than you were last year that it's not even funny. And that's the part that would worry me. Last year, Steph Curry missed the last 12 games of the year. He missed a month, then came back for game 1 of the playoffs. He missed a month before the playoffs. And we all kind of acknowledged that probably helped him. Klay Thompson was coming off injury. He missed the first 50 games of the year, essentially, 45. When he went into the playoffs, he'd only played 32 regular season games. So when he went into the playoffs, he was only coming off a half a season off that injury. And Draymond Green, Draymond missed 2 months.
37 games, I believe. 32.
Draymond missed 2 months of the season, then came back the last month and pretty much load managed the last month. So they all got significant rest going into last year's postseason, the big 3. This year, they're already hitting the ground running. Like, they are already playing pretty hard, and I think we all agree that the big 3's got to play the last month of the season to get them going for the postseason. So how do you, if you're a Warrior fan, how do you get around that? That last year they were fresh going into the postseason. They ran the table. This year they're a year older, different team. But they've been hitting the ground running for the last 6 weeks going into the postseason.